Some of these things that we have seen, we've not seen a lot of these teams, to be honest, especially in Namibia. They played against Uganda in their preparation games. They played against the Italians when they were on tour to the south of Africa. Algeria, we've not seen so much. So there's going to be a bit of a contrast in tactics. I think for me, Algeria, it comes to the big boys and how they move their ball around in open play. For Namibia, on the other hand, it is set pieces and structures, and we build blocks by blocks. Where do you... I try to think of many different ways where the tactical battles are going to be, but these contrasting styles and how they clash in that 2 p.m. kickoff are going to be important. Where should we expect to see a lot of the science?
Namibia is going to want to get a stranglehold of the forwards. They will bring their big boys in to see how much the Algerian pack can actually hold, and I think that is where they're really going to try to take a crack, because Algerians are tactical as well in terms of how they kick for space. One of the things that I think Namibia does so well that not many other African countries do is the rush defense. They kind of choke you and suffocate you into either just booting the ball away or making a Hail Mary pass, or as soon as you receive the ball, the player is already smothering you. So they have that, and I think Algeria will struggle a little bit. The fact that they don't, yes, they do have some deft runners, but I think they'll struggle with that bit. But how I see it happen is I see Namibia just bring it and play the same way that they've been playing. They're going to have 4 or 5 big carries of their big boys, and then they'll swing it out to the Swanepoels, who are going to just bring it out wide, and Van der Bagger to actually try to tear. And for me, that's where the danger is, because if you have big boys who are getting you behind the gain boy line all the time, and you have very sure and solid runners, then it's kind of hard for you to match up both ways.
Algeria have Nadir Mekdoud. I liked him and how he played in that quarterfinal against Cote d'Ivoire. He is the impact player of the match for most of the statistics leaders, especially Isametrics, who recorded 5 defenders beaten, 4 offloads, a couple of line breaks and carries in there. He's going to be leading in the midfield for Algeria. But the Namibians are also not sleeping. Danko Baga, Danko Baga in the midfield there. We talk about the forwards, and this is where the set pieces are going to be crucial. But away from all that, there's a lot of flair that we expect to see, Lydia, in those back lines for these 2 teams. That 2 p.m. kickoff, you said, is the one which will have the tactical bits and all, but there's going to be that flair from the individual players.
So in terms of flair and quick passes, I believe Algeria has that edge over the Namibians, but the Namibians have that force. So if you're passing so close to them, because I've seen Algeria passing the ball so close, but then if Namibia can tackle a player right before that pass, or get that advantage of picking that ball while it's in motion as Algerians are passing it. Now that's where the contest is going to come from. That's in the midfield. But once it moves, we're going to see a 50-50 on either sides. Yeah.
Guys, final question that I would love to ask you, and this is yes or no. It's a yes or no question. It's going to be very tricky, but I would love to see where we think that first semi-final is going to be. How high is there a chance, in fact, is there a chance of an upset in this game? We've talked about Namibia being the team who have gone to the World Cup the most times. Since 1999, they've been going to the World Cup. What will happen in that game? Is there going to be an upset, yes or no?
From me, no. There is no upset. There will be no mistakes. It's a World Cup qualifying year, and we know how Namibia comes, and we know how they play in World Cup qualifying years. For me, it's a huge no.
Lydia, yes or no? Algeria upsetting Namibia?
Algeria has a chance, and
yes or no?
Yes, there will be an upset.
Yeah, she's just against me because I said no.
Do we need a tiebreaker? We just leave it there.
Yeah. You actually the tiebreaker. You actually a tiebreaker.
I think Namibia will go through. So no chance of an upset. But it will be very interesting to see. I think we need to put an asterisk on it. But as it stands right now, 2v1, Namibia going to the final against Algeria. And now it gives us an opportunity to look at the other semi-final, Zimbabwe against Kenya. These are the two teams which Uganda has a long history with, but it is the big one, the one which has had very many people talking. 4 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. Before we begin this discussion, I'd love for us to listen into what the captain, Hilton Mudariki, had to say after that quarter-final victory, and then we can start our conversation from there.
Atlas Lions, did they always knew that they're a quality team? As I said in the week, they're a team with a lot of professionals, so we needed to be on top of our game. We didn't have the start that we wanted, conceding that early try, but I'm so proud of the way that the boys stayed calm and we stuck to our structures. We played the weather very well as well, and that kept us in the game.
Let's talk about your fly half, the man of the match, Ian Pryor. What a display from him, calm and composed, but knows where and when to put you in the right places to play.
Ian's the ultimate professional, and we're so blessed and lucky to have him in our team. The way he conducted, the way he led us all over the field, just shows the class that he has. The way that he stayed calm and made sure that the rest of the team stayed calm. That's what we want from our general, and he had an outstanding display there on the field today.
I just would love to ask you, there are plenty of tries in this match. Surely there's one moment, could be a score, may not be a score, but it excited you in this first quarter-final.
Oh, definitely. I think we were defending quite a lot inside R22. Then our centre Kudzama Shawi put in a very big hit, which allowed us to get a turnover try, and we ran the length of the field. It just shows that the discipline that we've been working on defence, making sure that we stay disciplined in that area, we will get rewarded, and we ended up getting 7 points out of that.
Successful 1 out of 3 matches out of the way. You face the winner between Kenya and Uganda. They play at 4 p.m. What do you expect in that contest between the two?
That's going to be one hell of a battle. We know that Kenya-Uganda is always a big derby, so we're looking forward to that. I'm sure that it's just going to be a super entertaining game for the fans to watch today.
But for you, tough start against the Morocco Atlas Lion. How was it in those first 10 minutes?
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be difficult, and certainly they brought a lot of passion, and we were behind at the start. But it's a good test for our guys just to handle that adversity and slowly work our way back into the game and ultimately get a result.
The conditions, like we expected, were changing: hot and then wet, dry and then cold. How have your team managed to sail through the ever-changing conditions here in Kampala?
Yeah, I think it's a special place where you can expect rain at any time. So we were trying to keep an eye on the weather. It did come a little bit earlier than we thought. So it caught us a bit by surprise, but fortunately we handled the conditions quite well.
First game done and dusted. You're a third of the way through. Next game is going to be against the winner between Kenya and Uganda. Thoughts on what the semi-final is going to be like?
I know that at 4 o'clock it's going to be crazy here. We were fortunate enough to play in that fixture last year against the Ugandans, so I know that it's going to be a humdinger, and we're looking forward to whoever comes through there. We're going to have to be at our very best if we are to compete in a semi-final.
What is the feeling that you have at this particular time after the kind of result that you've had?
First, I want to thank God for keeping us alive and giving us the victory. It's a good feeling. Yeah, it was a quarter-final to qualify for World Cup, so you're going to the semis. Yeah, it's a good feeling. Yeah.
Of course, always your clashes with Uganda are very tough. How does this compare to the previous ones that you've had with Uganda?
It's always a pleasure to play because it's a derby. Your neighbor, so it's a derby. It's a good feeling. It's a good experience of rugby. Yeah, so you enjoy it.
But where do you feel, as a Molo, the difference was in getting you over the line? It was an 8-point difference, but clearly the 8 points probably don't tell the story of how tough the game was.
I think the unit, he played like a unit, and then we kept on encouraging each other to play. Yeah.
How do you build on this kind of victory going into the semi-finals?
Are going to correct on our mistakes? Obviously, we have made our mistakes. We're going to work on our structure. Yeah, then we build up to the semi-final.